All right, everybody, welcome back to the Better on Paper podcast. This is the Monday before the Super Bowl, and we finally get to welcome back our co-hosts of the Better on Paper podcast. Cam is back from the UK. Cam, good to have you back, buddy.
Hello there, COVID Cam is back.
Jesus, starting off strong.
We also up a few things overseas.
We also have, back by popular demand, we have Tyler the Gambler back with us today for our Super Bowl show.
What's happening, people? Good to be back.
We're going to do a whole lot today. We got, obviously, the whole reason that we all watch football, the Super Bowl, is this weekend. So we got a lot to talk about in regards to the Super Bowl. We also have a lot of bets that we're going to go over, and I think it'll be a fun time. So we'll get started with just our thoughts on the game. As you guys might imagine, I am 100% rooting for the Bengals. I am picking the Bengals and everything that I possibly can. I love Joe Burrow and
hate
the Rams. That's my broad overview.
No bias whatsoever.
None at all. I've also got the Bengals. Despite everything logically saying that the Rams are going to win this game, it just feels like it doesn't matter and the Bengals will win, despite everything saying that the Rams will win this game. So I'm with you, Kev. I've got the Bengals.
And for all you keeping score at home, Cam in our picks has been down 2 going into this week.
Doesn't matter anyway.
We're all in it together at this point. So I do officially win on the season, but now we're all on the same team at this point with the Bengals, unless the gambler over here has someone else he wants to pick.
I'm taking Rams money line, but I'm taking Bengals with the spread.
What's the spread?
I just think it's minus 4.5 Rams at the current moment. So if that spread stays the same, I'm taking Bengals money line. I think that should be closer to like 2.5, 3. But
wait, does TC3 got the Bengals? Did I miss that?
I just hope both teams have fun.
This is Rob. I was gonna say it was gonna TC3 is like our Rob Lowe of the podcast, but Rob Lowe did like choose the Rams last week.
I was gonna
he
say
was wearing a Rams hat at the game, so
I saw
Rob Lowe is my spirit animal.
Literally,
yeah.
I would love nothing more than to see the Bengals win. Don't get me wrong. I think Joe Burrow is a stud. I think he is the most cool, collected quarterback of this generation so far, besides maybe Pat Mahomes.
Dare we
whatever.
say he's Bull, Bomb, and Belected? That's why
I will not say that, but
Bull, Bomb, and Belected. All right, whatever.
No. Yeah, I just am really rooting for Joe Burrow. Honestly, what I think would be sick is Evan McPherson again kicking game-winning field goal. That's really all I could root for at this point is to have the most fun.
What do we like, Tyler? A nickname for Evan. Do we like Evan Kickpherson or Evan McPhears No One?
Can I opt the third option of neither?
No, that's not an option. You're right. He's a kicker. He doesn't deserve a nickname.
I guess the first one. Then?
No, it's fine. Hey, kickers don't matter. They shouldn't get nicknames. Neither works. It's just a little disrespectful.
Don't construe my words and say kickers don't matter. You know damn well I'm going to argue that point.
I just was surprised. You're like, nah, he shouldn't have a nickname. It's a little contentious, but all right.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said I didn't like either of the nicknames. But I guess if I had to pick between the two, the worst of two evils, I'll pick the first one.
Kickpherson?
Yes.
That's lame. I like McPhears No One.
It's too long.
That is too long. Your nickname's got to roll off the tongue a little bit.
The best nicknames are too long.
I disagree. I wholeheartily disagree. Some of the best nicknames of all time are the short ones that just roll right off the tongue. They can Chris Berman being Boomer. Like it's not if you you can't just draw it out too long. It's got to be there.
I mean, if we're going to keep it long, I'd rather do like Evan Long Dong McPherson. I don't know, something like that. Where
I like that.
Yeah, like that would be better than McPhears No One. That's just, I don't know, it doesn't quite get there for me.
Doesn't even play on his name. Anyway, okay.
Well, let's get back to the actual game. I mean, at this point, I think what this game's going to come down to are the Bengals going to be able to put up points with the
Yes.
Rams D-line playing the way they are. Their D-line's absolutely insane, and the Bengals O-line's been struggling for a while. So that's going to be the matchup. If Aaron Donald is just in the backfield all day pummeling Joe Burrow, it could be a really long day for the Bengals. I just really hope that I don't know if the Bengals can keep making adjustments like they did against the Chiefs. I think it's gonna be really hard to beat them.
It just doesn't matter. He got sacked 9 times by the Titans. They won. The Chiefs have a better D-line than the Titans, in my opinion. He didn't get sacked except
You're
for
high
once.
as a kite if you think they have a better D-line than the Titans.
All right, I guess
That is Homer bias
Yeah.
right there.
whatever.
Yeah.
No
Fine.
offense,
Homer bias.
no
Point
offense.
being, they only got 1 sack, so they should have had way more than 1 sack. I don't think that's a hot take, but I'm like,
You're saying
doesn't matter.
the Chiefs have a better defensive line than the Titans. They only sacked him once compared to the Titans sacking him 9 times.
I think the Bengals just make good adjustments.
What was the over under on how many times Joe Burrow gets sacked by the Chiefs? Obviously, it's more than 1. So I mean, point being, it was a shocker. So I'm like, who knows? Like, fuck these Rams, bro. Like I said, I know on paper it's saying that the Rams should win this game, but I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, despite the odds, the Bengals will win. Like, we think the Rams will get a bunch of sacks. They may not. Even if they get a bunch of sacks, it may not matter. Like, I'm just saying.
I think Aaron Donald's an absolute stud. I don't trust anybody on the Bengals offensive line to beat him one-on-one. If Von Miller plays like he has, he's going to tear apart their line as well. But I still have faith that Joe Burrow will figure it out somehow. So
Joe Burrow is also an absolute stud. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So is Jamar Chase. So is T. Higgins. So is Joe Mixon.
I mean, this is a studly Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I
but
think one of the studliest in
Odell,
history.
so is Cooper Kupp, Cam Akers, like Matt Stafford. I get what you're saying with all these Bengals players, but at least some of these Rams players have been actually into the playoffs in the last decade.
Yeah, but these kitty cats got claws. Meow.
I mean, there's something to be said about not like at this point you made it to the Super Bowl, right? Like you've had all these times where you could have gotten scared and cowered away down 21-3 and now they made it here. It's almost like someone was talking, I think it was Jay Feely was talking about Evan McPherson saying like he hasn't been there, so he doesn't get scared because he doesn't know what it's like to fail yet. It's almost like that's where the Bengals are at. Where like they haven't had to fail at this level yet, so they don't know what it's like. So there's nothing to be afraid of, you know. Like the Rams have gotten to the Super Bowl and lost with some of these guys on this team, so they know what it's like to fail. So
Not OBJ.
now, it's, you know, well, OBJ just hasn't gotten there either. Yeah, but like, I mean, you have Aaron Donald who's there. That core team around them was there. I don't know. Like you wonder if that creeps into their mind at all. I don't know if it does, but
Do you guys even follow the Chinese Lunar New Year? It's the year of the tiger. I'm just saying. It's literally written in the stars.
I mean, if they do win, if the Bengals do win, it's because of the Chinese Lunar New Year. I will give you that, Cam. I don't know.
I actually don't put too much. I'm not an astrology guy, so I actually put literally 0 into that. But it's just fun to say. Like it's the year of the tiger.
That would be like a coincidence that they did win the year of the tiger. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Bengals are a very gritty team. They have grinded out this entire playoffs. And the defense stepped up against the Titans late when the offense really couldn't score. Got those 3 turnovers, or at least 3 picks. I think was there one more turnover? Was there a fumble? Was the last play before you get that field goal? Was that a pick or a fumble?
which one?
For them to get the game-winning field goal against the Titans.
Pick, I believe.
Okay, yeah. So like the defense stepped up then. They made great second half adjustments. So don't get me wrong there. Their offense came alive in the second half finally too. I don't know. It's just it'll be a great game. I'm not saying I want the Rams to win. I honestly do not care who wins. I think it's gonna be a good game regardless. It's a good fan base. You have a fan base on both sides of the country practically. So everyone's probably gonna be rooting for Joe Burrow or Matt Stafford. Honestly, so it'll be a good game regardless.
Yeah. I mean, we can get into some of these prop bets and kind of talk about what we think is going to end up happening throughout the game, kind of with some of these prop bets. Some of these major ones that always get better, like first touchdown being scored, most field goals, all that. But we can start with who do you think is going to score the first touchdown? What player? Obviously, throwing it doesn't count, so it's got to be whoever caught it or if they run it in. So like if Matt Stafford throws to OBJ would be the one who scored the touchdown, right? So right now the betting favorite is Cooper Kupp at plus 500. They do have some that go up to the plus 20,000s, so you can get pretty.
Give me the
Dude,
give me the
Trayvon
top
Williams
five.
is at the bottom of every single list. I don't
Yeah.
want to sound like someone who's a casual fan because I'm obviously not. But like, what team does Trayvon Williams even play for?
He is old Texas A&M running back, most famous for being on the team that blew the 34-point lead to UCLA, walking up and down the sideline with his scepter, thinking they're going to win, and then blowing that lead. That's what he's most famous for.
So what team is he on? The Bengals or the Rams?
Bengals.
Okay. Because I was like, damn, if he's still at A&M, it's wild that he's got a plus 20,000 odds.
I don't think it's going to be Cooper Kupp. I think
don't
they're
think it
going to
is
get
either.
focused on him either. I could see it. I mean, obviously, like anything else, it'll depend on who gets the ball first. But I mean, I think if the
always.
Bengals start with the hold on. Let me here's that. If the Bengals get the ball first, I think they kick a field goal first. If the Rams get the ball first, I think they score a touchdown first. I don't think the Bengals score a touchdown on their first drive.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think that the Bengals are. I think it's going to be the Rams to score the first touchdown because that's exactly what you just said. I think when the Rams get the ball, they're going to end up being the first one to score, and I think it's going to be OBJ, just because I think the Bengals are going to do everything they can to try to stop Cooper Kupp early on, and it's going to be just OBJ is going to be the guy that gets open.
I say give me Cam Akers at plus 750 or Higbee at plus 1500.
Yeah, Higbee's the sleeper, I think, out of that. I mean, obviously, the value would be Matt Stafford at plus 5,000, getting a quarterback sneak and running it in. That would be that kind of weird pick.
I think it's hard because I kind of agree with Tyler. I think Cam Akers and Higbee are great if they're at the goal line, but I just am like, I can't help but think that like there might just be a random like let's just go out, balls to the walls, Van Jefferson first touchdown. Like
I think it's a good call too.
Yeah.
but they're both the same odds as Higbee, and I'm like, it's like I don't know, dude. It's the Super Bowl. It's a big game, and I feel like they're gonna do some like methodical, grindy first drive. You know, not go for the big play, but
Yeah. That's a great take.
Dream.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if it's a deep ball for a touchdown, then I think it's going to be Van Jefferson, obviously. Van Jefferson, Cooper Kupp. But I think, like Cam said, it's going to be grinding to get down towards the Bengals goal line, and I think it's going to be either they're going to rush it in with Cam Akers or they're going to take it and throw it to Higbee. So,
100%. Let's go kind of a weird one here. Super Bowl 56. So this is a team touchdown total. So for the Bengals, the touchdown total would be over under 2.5.
Over.
I would take the over on that.
If you want a good game, I'm hoping the over.
And then the Rams would be over under 3.5. I'll probably take the under on that, and then the over on the Bengals.
I take the over on both.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it might be a high scoring game, but I can see the Rams putting together 3 touchdown drives, and that's it. Just like putting one together early, and then like one late, and then just kind of a random one that gets sprinkled into the mix. And then I think the Bengals score 2 touchdowns in the second half. So that means they just got to pull out one in the first, and I think they will.
I'm with Cam on both over.
Okay. Yeah.
I think
surprise me.
You can see the Bengals seem to make a lot of their adjustments going into the second half. So I think the Rams go up, 1 or 2. They at least score 2 touchdowns in the first half. Is my take, and then whether you get that last 1 or 2 more in the second half, and I think that's how they get their over.
Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is, at least according to this sheet here, the over 3.5 for the Rams is plus 145. The under's minus 190. I just think that's a weird odds situation. I wouldn't have guessed that big of a swing, but here we are. A couple of the ones I was looking at, first to score, I think it's going to be who wins the coin toss, right? I think both teams will score if they get the ball first. So I think it would be a Bengals field goal or a Rams touchdown. So I would take the Bengals plus 105 just because that's better odds. It's just a coin toss.
So heads or tails, what do you think it is? Well, I mean, I don't know.
Tails always fails is my opinion.
Well, that's terrible and the opposite of what it is.
Yeah, tails always fails.
Tails never fails.
So I'm taking heads.
except for in playoff games in the overtime.
This postseason.
I'm taking tails because
That's the exception, not the rule. That's the exception, not the rule. All I'm saying.
I'm taking tails
Josh Allen.
because every single time the Chiefs have called tails in overtime, they always win the coin toss now. But when they call tails,
Bias.
they've won the games. When they've called heads and won the coin toss, they've lost. So just good mojo all around. I'm going to take the tails.
Yeah, I'll take tails as well.
What do you think the odds are on this? Do
It's
you think
been
it's going
hot
to be
this postseason.
50-50 odds, or do you think that there's some really good odds here? Do you think there's a sleeper pick?
No, it's 50-50. I mean, it's like plus 110 or minus 110 for each or whatever it is. It's like always the same like that every year.
Okay.
Let's go over under yardage for Joe Burrow, 276.5. Over under.
Total or just passing?
Passing, sorry.
276 total passing.
Well, that makes a difference.
Yes, it does make a difference. That's a high number, 276.5. That's
Fuck it. Let me be the hater that still thinks the Bengals are going to win, but Joe Burrow under 276.
it pains me to take the under here, but I really think that's the move. I think he's going to go throw for 250 and 3 touchdowns.
Joe Mixon, run and grind. I don't know.
That's rough.
They
Gambler,
did dump off the ball to Mixon a few times in that last game against your Chiefs game. I'll take the over.
Yeah.
I'll take the over.
Well,
on
this is
that.
the Super Bowl. We don't got to talk about that game.
It's a
I think it'll be same thing as Chiefs. I think T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd both have big games if the Bengals want to win. So yeah, if Ramsey's locking down Jamar Chase, then good for him. But you still got to compete, just like the Bengals defense still has to compete with all their weapons. Like I actually will take the over for both.
It's it's hard though because Jamar Chase does have his signature offensive PI push off that never gets called. But hey, it's been wreaking havoc on defenses all year.
That's every receiver's figured out a way to get that no call all the time. So the weird thing I look at here is Matt Stafford's at 279.5, so only 3 yards over Joe Burrow. That's
Still
kind of
taking
a weird line. I'm gonna take
I'm taking the under.
this just sucks.
I'm
No, I'm
being
going
a
to take the
hater.
over on that because the Rams aren't going to run the ball. They haven't run the ball well. The Bengals have a really good run defense. They're going to try to throw it, especially when they start getting desperate because that's what McVay does, and he gets panicked and gets desperate and starts trying to huck everything deep. So I think it'll work to an extent. So I'm going to take Matt Stafford over 279.5.
And he's a good thrower. Like I said, I'll take him over.
What have the last 3 Super Bowls? What have those quarterbacks over unders been on the last 3?
Well, Tom is always over in the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
Okay, Tom's always over.
Tom's always over. I wouldn't be surprised.
He's always almost like double what the original over under is.
I'm sure Mahomes was on the under last year. I'm sure he hit the over the year
he
before.
probably got the under the year before that too because the Chiefs didn't really have a great game until the end, that comeback, and then Jimmy definitely had the under. Well, I guess it depends on what his line was, but my guess is he got the under because he didn't have that great of a game. And the year before that, again, Brady.
But that was like the super low scoring Super Bowl. That was
He had the under because that was when Edelman won MVP. So
I was to say he had to
both
have
him
the
and Goff
under.
had unders.
There's no way Goff hit the over on his.
Yeah, I'm going to take Stafford
I'm
over,
taking
but I'm
unders.
very wary about it.
I'm taking unders on both.
Let's go interceptions. This is a weird odds too. So Joe Burrow over under 1.5 and Matt Stafford over under 1.5.
Give me
For
over
picks.
on both.
You think they're both going to throw 2 picks?
Yeah.
I don't see.
I mean,
any
Joe
chance.
Burrow has thrown multiple interceptions in these playoff games. There's been some that have been dropped, and I'm assuming the Rams. I mean, Jalen did have allegedly a couple dropped picks though, and I'm kind of making him an X factor here on that one.
I mean, I'm taking the under on both of those. I think maybe they each throw 1 pick, and that's it. I don't think Burrow throws a pick, and I think Stafford will throw 1 dumb throw.
Yeah, I want to look up. You said multiple interceptions this postseason, and he's averaging. He threw 1 in the wild card, 1 in the division, 1 in the conference, and what did he throw in the wild card?
But he had a couple dropped at least in the conference.
So I'm taking the. I think he throws 1 against the Rams, so I'll take the under for Burrow, and I'll take the under for Stafford as well.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that turnover heavy of a game at all.
But it was 4 turnovers. That does seem really heavy. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I feel like they can both throw 2 picks so easily.
Yeah, I just don't see all that other stuff happening. Let's go one more here. Tyler mentioned it earlier. I thought it was interesting because it's true. Saying that if the Bengals want to win this, it's going to be on T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd having a day. Jamar Chase then. He's going to be going up against Jalen Ramsey. It's definitely the premier matchup from a wide receiver corner. Over under 5.5 receptions.
For Jamar Chase?
For Jamar Chase.
Is that the whole game or and a half?
Whole game.
Whole game.
That's a low number. But if Ramsey locks him up, it's very possible he gets 3 catches.
I actually don't think that's a low number, to be honest. 5.5 is not a low number.
I don't think that's a low number at all.
5.5?
If you look at typical receivers in a game, I mean, it's probably around like 6. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's
6 or
low at
7
all.
is considered.
Just for that
usually-
good of a player, though, I don't know. That's tough.
Against, and also great players. It's just,
Give me
That's
the
a tough
under.
number.
it depends.
That's a tough number.
Because 5.5, that means 5. If he gets 5 catches, he's still on the under. So I'm comfortable with that because I can.
That is how that works.
What? I thought he said. Oh, I'm saying under 5. And if the line was 5.5, I'm taking under for Jamar Chase.
Okay.
I'm making sure I'm like following correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
following correctly.
It's just tough. I mean, 5.5 is such a tough number for me because I think he's going to get limited by Jalen Ramsey a lot. But I mean, that's what happened last week. And then second half, he had 4 or 5 catches in the second half of the week, and that's all I needed. I'm gonna take the over, but I'm not super confident about it. I'm banking on a couple short like screen pass type throws where it's not down the field to get that over.
So he had 6 catches last week against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And he had 5 catches against the Titans, who I think is a better defense.
Damn.
So
He had 6 catches against the Chiefs, but he had at least two or 3 of them in the overtime, and I don't think the game goes to OT.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was I would take the under.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the over, but very cautiously. Very cautiously.
What's the over?
very
What are the odds on
cautiously.
the over again? Like, what's the payout? Not like the line. Does it say?
Minus 150 for the over, plus 115 for the under.
Really? The unders
Yeah.
gets the plus? Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
Smash
which is
that bet,
surprising.
listeners.
It makes me think that Vegas knows something that we don't, because that's
Vegas
surprising
always
to me as
knows.
well.
Just for
Vegas
everyone
always
listening, Vegas always knows.
Vegas always.
Vegas,
It's literally their job to know.
Vegas always knows. Vegas always knows.
The house always wins.
Never forget.
As we said before, please bet responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you have a gambling problem. All right, we have about 10 prop bets here that are totally off the game. So for those of you who are not into betting on actual game stuff because you're not into it, but there's some other fun ones that are kind of exclusive to the
Let's
Super Bowl
go.
here. We got 10 that are kind of all over the board. The first
I'm
one,
more-
we were
more
having a
opinionated about
lengthy
these
debate.
ones.
We were having a lengthy debate before we started recording about this one. So, what song will be performed first during the halftime show? I don't have any strong feelings, but I know some people here had some strong feelings about it. So what
I
do
do.
we
I
got?
honestly, I'm thinking about it. I was kind of given like some like look and love. I'm smashing it. California Love, I feel like has to be the first song. That's like that's the ultimate
Nowhere.
opener. Because the thing is I can see it not being the opener, but you, I'm pretty sure, are like dead set that's going to be the last song, and I'm like, there's no way California Love is the last song.
I could see them just not playing it at all because, like, it's the Super Bowl. It's the most televised event of the year. It's very family friendly. I could see them trying to keep it as PG as possible given the artists that they've got.
Well, that's why I'm thinking they won't do nothing but a G thing. That's why I'm like, I
So,
don't even
so
think they play that
TC3,
song.
do you think they play Family Affair first then? If it's a family event,
There you go.
Just looking at the songs on this list that we have, which, you know, we go through all their catalogs for other ones, but I think "Lose Yourself" is an obvious first song.
I think that could suit
It's
well. I
the
mean,
ultimate.
obviously,
It's the ultimate. Like, everything's dark, smoke
Yeah.
starts coming, bum bum. Like, it's the ultimate like intro song. It's arena rap. You know what I mean? Like, it's what
Yeah.
they play at football anyways.
It's a really good value bet at plus 650 too. That's one of
I think
those
it's
kind of
got
the
good
sneaky
odds.
ones.
So underrated, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm just
think
like, they did
California
a
Love is going to be the
trailer.
ending. Is the big
I
thing. 'cause
really don't
that's
think
the
it will
big
be
one.
the ending. I think
Yeah.
they did a trailer for the halftime show, and like California Love was in the trailer for the halftime show. So I'm like, there's no way they don't play it. And I'm just like, I feel like that's the opener. It's like, this is the brand new stadium in LA, and we're hosting the Super Bowl here, and look at all these local rappers that we got performing. I'm like, California Love just seems like, I'm like, there's a reason why I think it's the lowest odds at plus 250. I'm like, in my mind, I feel like that's the obvious choice. I'm locking it in. California Love. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm just feel like that's the obvious choice for first one. I don't
Tyler,
even think
what do you got?
Eminem plays "Lose Yourself." I'll be honest. I don't think he does. They've got 5 artists. He's gonna have 2 songs. Like Rap God will be one of them. I just don't know. We'll see.
Tyler, what do you got?
I'll back up TC3 and take Lose Yourself at plus 650.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the more I think about it, the more I think Lose Yourself is the ultimate opening song. I think California Love, with all of those performers, they're going to want to have them all together. So for those of you who don't know, for whatever reason, who the halftime performers are, it's Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Dr. Dre. So obviously there's going to be a lot of shit happening in the halftime show because that's so many people. So I think they'll end it with California Love because it'll get everybody involved in it. So I don't think they start with that because that's going to be a good grand finale.
That's some good arguments.
So that's why
Like,
I'm going to go
gotta-
Lose Yourself too. Because I think Lose Yourself is that opening smoke moment that TC3 was talking about. I think that's 100% right.
And if California Love's supposed to be like the It's in California party song, like you save your best song for the end. Every artist knows that.
Yep.
So,
But that's not their best song.
but that's what you're saying is their best song because that's why you think they're going to open with it.
I think it's the most.
If you go
obvious
to
choice
somebody
open.
to see one song, it's the song that they're going to play last, so you have to stay the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, but
So
the
they're
opening
gonna make
song is
California
always
Love
good
the last
too.
song.
The opening song.
Yeah, and Lose Yourself is an awesome opening song.
Yeah. I think the sneaky bet there is the humble plus 900. That's the bottom of the list that's here.
I think that's I think that's the best sneaky. Because so you said humble. I'm like, I can absolutely see that.
I could totally see them, like, again, that's another one where Lose Yourself and Humble, I think both have that opening like beat where either obviously Eminem or Kendrick can go off with it. I think that would be really cool. So
I just if California Love isn't the opening because of some good arguments for they're going to get everyone involved there, then I feel like the next episode will be the. I mean, I'm like I do think that they're like odds for first like plus 250 and plus 300 for California Love. And next episode, I think I'm like they know something, and I'm just like the next episode I can absolutely see being the opening as well. Because I'm like, they did release a trailer for this halftime show where they played all of their songs, and so I'm like, anyway. I just think it's.
we'll see.
We'll see.
Well, we're all locked in. Cam's on California Love, and the rest of us are on Lose Yourself. So that is we'll have to keep track
On the record.
I can't wait for some contentious text messages at halftime. And if I swear, if I just get ignored, I'm gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be like, I want some contention.
The next one that we're gonna go, who will be shown first during the game? Talking about these 5 celebrities. So that must be that all 5 are actually going to the game in some form. Leo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, J-Lo, or Kim Kardashian. I don't have a ton of strong feelings. However, for some reason, Matt Damon is sticking out in my head that that's going to be him.
I just don't understand why Ben Affleck has higher than Jennifer Lopez. They're dating again. They'll be sitting there together. I'm like, if one of them's shown, the other one will be shown. Like, they're not going to like zoom in on Ben Affleck and then leave out J-Lo or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a weird one to me. I can absolutely see them both being showed first, but I'm like, as far as one or the other, I'm like, both same time.
Can I say how much I fucking hate that Kim K's on this list? The Kardashian family is like gonna be the death of me. They are famous for absolutely fucking nothing besides like porn videos, and then going from there.
What about
and it
their
drives me
dad?
fucking nuts.
He saved OJ.
Can I just take my shot and say it's going to be none of them? It's going to be Rob Lowe.
All right. Well, out of those 5, we gotta stick with the 5. That's
Give
not
me
even,
Leo. Give me Leo out of those 5.
Yeah, give me
take
Leo.
Leo.
I'm
Okay.
on
All
Leo.
right, TC3. What are we gonna do all the same shit
Because
tonight?
Leo's going to be sitting with Rob Lowe.
Cam, what do you got?
I'll take Leo. If we have to pick off this list, I got Leo.
All right. Okay. All right. And then I got Damon. All right, next one. What color will Snoop Dogg's shoes be to begin the halftime show? I love how the question is worded to begin the halftime show, implying that he may change shoes in the middle of the halftime show. There's a whole bunch of colors that have all varying odds, highest odds being blue at 275.
I guarantee the NFL is going to explicitly not let him wear blue shoes.
Yeah,
I would bet the house on white or black.
I would bet the house on orange.
I was gonna say yellow gold.
Yeah, I'm like, I think yellow, gold, or purple because he's such a big Laker fan.
Yeah, exactly. That's
and
my
I just feel like
mindset too.
purple. I would say I think purple is a little bit too random to do, but I'm like yellow, gold, especially because that's also a color of the Rams. I can see.
The Rams,
Yeah,
yep.
I'm locking in yellow, gold too. Because I'm sure Snoop Dogg's put this much thought into why he's choosing the color of his shoes.
Oh, you know,
I'm
he
gonna
probably
go
has.
black.
I guarantee they have at least somewhat.
Oh yeah,
They gotta make sure.
gonna-
They gotta make sure the drip looks good.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going black. I don't really have good reason for it. I just think maybe everything else will be more colorful, not his shoes. Obviously, it's
possible.
like the predominant color of his shoe is what that's referring to, so not just like a speck of a color somewhere. So,
It had yellow laces.
TC3, what was your pick?
Orange all the way. Inside source.
All right.
Ooh.
This next one is honestly, I just don't know enough about it to have an
I was gonna say I don't even want to
argument.
answer this.
Skip
But
it. Skip it. It doesn't deserve our.
Yeah, I'm like I don't even know what any of
I'm
those
so
things
serious.
are. Like I can pick.
I'm going to cut this out.
Give me that Bored Ape Yacht Club plus 150.
we're gonna next one. Next one here. First,
What NFT will be shown first during any commercial?
what
You can
NFT will
answer
be
it.
showed first
Bored Ape
during
Yacht
any
Club.
commercial? I was gonna go Bored Ape Yacht Club just because that's
the only one I know.
most of. That's the one
I don't know
most.
any of
And-
these.
And that's why I think they'll play them first because it's the one everyone knows. It's like the OG of the NFTs. Because then came Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and then the rest of them I have no idea about. Maybe Nouns
don't
came
know
first, but I've
any
never
of
heard of
these
it.
are.
Most people have only ever heard of Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yeah. I would agree. The next one is first Anheuser-Busch brand commercial to run. So the options here. So this means I think all of them have a commercial somewhere. It's
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Budweiser, so like Bud Heavy, Bud Light Next, Mick Ultra, Cutwater Spirits, Bud Light Seltzer Hard Soda. That's like the flavor of the Bud Light seltzers, and Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer.
Give me Bud Light
Shit, I
Seltzer.
got to buy that.
Give me Bud Light Seltzer. I feel like those are the ones that I've been
No
seeing
way.
the most of.
What? Did you
For
say
first
Bud
one, yeah,
Seltzer?
they're gonna they'll save the Budweiser for like later in because that's always their like heavy hit and like the Budweiser commercial is never funny. It's always a second half feel good like the
Yeah,
dog
it's going to be a
came
third quarter
home.
one. I'm with you
I
on
agree,
that.
No.
I agree. Budweiser will be later. I think the seltzer's a trash call because
Yeah.
Bud Light Next is their brand new brand they just rolled out.
I've never even heard
That's
of it.
100%. They're gonna blanket the airwaves with that.
Yes,
I
I
agree.
just,
gotta
I
be
just
Bud
assumed
Light
Bud
Next.
Light Next was a Bud Light because I've never even heard of Bud Light Next, so it must be like
That's because it's brand new, so that's why it's gonna be the first thing they put
Okay.
out there because they want everyone googling that and going out and getting it in the second half. I bet they do like a Drizzly thing where it's like, oh, order on Drizzly 20% off for the second half.
okay.
I could see something like
Hot
if it's
take.
okay, if it's a new thing that they're like recently rolling out, then I can absolutely see them starting off with that. That's why I was going with Bud Light Seltzer because I assumed that was their newest whatever, and they've been
Yeah, they
Oh,
announced
yeah.
Bud Light Next like this month.
yeah.
I'm like,
going Bud Light Next.
Because I'm like
I
every
go-
every Budweiser commercial I've seen the last 3 months have all been Bud Light Seltzer. I feel like.
It's in between Bud Light Next and Michelob Ultra, in my opinion. But I was gonna say Budweiser, but I agree with your take on it being a second half thing. I mean, it's the traditional Clydesdales, so
Yeah.
I wish they had Bud Knight coming on. We'll see if they do that again. He's the dude. So
epic.
you guys don't went Bud Light Next. I guess I'll do Michelob Ultra. Why not?
Yeah.
I will
mean-
say I've been seeing a revival. This isn't really Anheuser-Busch related, but speaking of just great like mascots for commercials, they've been bringing back the Dr. Pepper guy. Ooh, it's the sweet one. Stoked about that. I'm hoping Dr. Pepper's got him back for the Super Bowl.
No, I definitely think the Bud Knight's one of the most iconic Super Bowl ads of all time. They had a full year leading up to that. That was one of the most epic moments I can remember. So that was pretty awesome. We'll go to the next one. This one is basically, do you think the Bengals win the Super Bowl? Will Joe Burrow be shown smoking a cigar?
I
No
think
or
yeah.
yes?
Yeah.
I don't know why the odds are so crazy. I say yes.
Because of
I
family
mean, I think it's
affair.
literally. Do you think the
It's
Bengals
the line.
win?
Yeah, it's because if they win, it's 100%. You know, he's got like 700 there lined up to hand out to people when they win.
100%.
Oh,
No,
I read this wrong.
I
I just
think
assumed,
they do a montage of him like
Yeah.
going from
That's where my
into
mindset
it.
was at.
Yeah, I think they
That's-
play that.
So I'm like, yeah, they absolutely like. It doesn't mean them to win. Like they can like first half.
No,
like,
it says,
here's
will
Joe
he light up
Burrow.
a cigar on broadcast? So I think it's live. I think it only is counting if he smokes one live on
Yeah,
air.
I think they're. I think
Not
they're
a
talking
clip.
about live. Yeah.
If you read the description of it, it says light up on the broadcast.
I'm gonna say no. I think he'll save it for the locker room, not on the broadcast. Even if the Bengals win, I'm gonna say no.
I mean, the locker room's the broadcast. They just mean like on live TV.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
Yes,
take yes,
no.
just because I think the Bengals are going to win, and he will 100% be smoking a cigar if the Bengals win. So I got to take it.
I mean, I think if they win, he takes it. But as someone who is playing both sides in this scenario, I can't take a pick on this. So I pass.
I say no. I didn't realize it was live. I thought they could have shown a montage. So if it's live, I say no. Because even if anyway,
Cam, we're never smarter than the odds makers.
I don't even know how to respond to that. I don't know if that was an insult or agreeing with me because I said no with the odds makers.
No, because you thought you were outsmarting him of like, oh, they'll show a clip of him smoking a cigar.
Oh, okay. I see.
Tyler, what do you got?
I still say yes. I think they're. I don't understand where you guys see the. It says if the Bengals are able to win. Yeah, obviously, I think if they win, they'd light a cigar up. But I still think if the actual like line says will Joe Burrow be shown smoking a cigar, if they show that video, then technically it hits. Unless it's like defined as like a after the game, then I'm still going to take the yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think clarification is needed on that bet. I'm sure that has been discussed since. But I just
obviously, if it's live, then no, because I think the Rams are going to win. So
fair enough. This one is one of the most controversial ones that always comes every year. How long will the national anthem be? Typically, this is timed from the first note sung to the end of Brave. Is typically the time frame. So it's not the beginning of the music. It's the first note song to the end of Brave. Mickey Guyton, who's a country singer this year, is singing it. Over under is 1 minute 35 seconds.
Country always takes it slow, baby.
Yeah, I'm going over. I think she's going to take longer to go for it. Last year was 2 minutes and 17 seconds, but that was two people singing it. So I don't know how much you can base off that.
Yeah, I'll say over. 1:35 seems short.
It's been a
She'd have to
decade.
be-
It's been a decade since the last one was sung under, which was 94 seconds with Kelly Clarkson. So I will
Under this number, not
Under that
the
number.
under.
Yeah, I will. So I will continue to ride that and take the over.
I'll say over. I'll just say this seems short.
Yeah.
Over.
Got it. This one's a little weird. How many times will home field advantage be mentioned during live broadcast? Referring to
Oh
the
my
fact that
God.
the Rams are
Over.
I think that's over 100%. Too.
I can't believe it's
Over
only.
one
I
and a
can't
half.
believe it's only at
Way
1.5
Way
times.
over.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's always gonna be in context of wow, not much home field advantage, huh?
I mean,
It'll be-
well,
yeah,
that's the
I say
thing
over.
is, no matter what happens,
technically
if
the
the
away
Rams do
team.
well or don't do well, that'll be mentioned as like a sarcastic home field advantage or a not sarcastic, like a real thing. I don't know. I don't know how that's only 1.5.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. It's stupid low.
Yeah.
Who are the broadcasters? Do we know?
It's
Al
Al Michaels and
Michaels.
Chris Collinsworth. And it looks like Al Michaels will be calling his last game as a broadcaster this game.
Thank
which is
God.
For NBC.
Yes.
What?
Oh.
I love Al Michaels.
Al Michaels. Oh, I thought you said Chris Collinsworth. Sorry.
No, Al Michaels.
Okay. Well, sorry, viewers. I take back the statement. If it's Chris Collinsworth, I wish he was his last game ever.
Yeah, I'm
but
not a
Al
Chris
Michaels.
Collinsworth guy.
I mean, good send off, I guess.
I like Al. He also said has he confirmed it's his last one? I think he just said it's my last one under contract with NBC, and now I'm like a free agent of sorts. And so people are thinking he might do like some Amazon shit.
Maybe. It's not confirmed, but it that's the rumor is that it'll be his last
I mean, he's
game.
also
It's-
77, so I can also easily see him retiring. But
Yeah. All right, we're both on. I think all of us are on the over for that. We said.
yeah,
Oh, easy.
It's gotta
Yeah.
be over 1.5.
Chris is going to say it at least 4 times in the first quarter.
100%. Well, they're going to talk about all the Niners fans being at the championship game and all that kind of crap too. They're definitely going to.
Bro, your team isn't even the champion in the Super Bowl.
I know, but they're going to bring it up. They're going to bring it up because it's the whole thing of, the Rams are playing their home stadium, but they didn't have the home field advantage here, so let's see if they have it today. I mean, it's going to be that kind of a thing. It gets brought up over and over again, just because it was such a storyline. I think it's going to get brought up a lot. All right, we got 2 left here. What color will the liquid be that is poured on the winning coach?
You can say Gatorade.
Yeah, well, it says liquid because technically it could be clear, so like it could be water. So that's the argument here. But the betting favorite here is orange. I have it on high authority that the Bengals have had orange Gatorade the whole year. So if the Bengals win, it will be orange. So take that with what you will.
I feel like it was. I mean, I don't know. Isn't it usually always orange? Like, what have been the last few?
I'm pretty sure last year's was orange.
Last year was blue.
Was blue?
Oh, because I know Andy Reid got dumped with orange.
Orange is the most frequent it says it right below, guys.
Yeah.
It says orange is the most frequent over the past 21 years. But
Dude, I can't read. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I didn't.
I'm gonna go with the yellow lime. I'm gonna go yellow lime.
Yeah, I'll copy TC3 on that. No, I like that too, actually.
Give me the easy orange. I'm right.
Yeah, I'm going orange.
History repeats itself, boys.
Yep.
Also, none is disgustingly high on this list. The odds that Sean McVay's hair doesn't get soaked is 0.
Well, they're both young coaches too. So like normally the none is like, oh, we don't want to like dump an old coach that might like get sick because we dumped him with water or something like that. You know, like
sick.
Like it's like, oh, we don't do that.
He's gonna
like,
get pneumonia.
Yeah, so like I just
In
don't
Southern
see that
California.
happening. It's
In a dome.
In a dome.
Exactly. And it's got 2 young coaches like that. Like I'm not like, come on. None.
It's gonna be cooler inside the dome than outside the dome.
What Super Bowl winning coach has? Don't dump that shit on me, guys.
Oh, I'm sure Belichick's
Yeah.
done that a few times, but
But Belichick's not in it.
yeah. Going orange, 100%. Book
Yeah,
it.
I'm team orange.
All right,
no Pete.
last one. I think this is interesting. Who will the Super Bowl MVP refer to first in his speech?
I have strong opinions on this.
So the options that were listed here are teammates, God/religion, family, city/fans, coaches, or team owner.
I have strong
Those
opinions.
were the options. It's definitely not going to be owner. I don't think either
No.
owner is well liked by the team, so it doesn't really matter. I definitely think teammates is the favorite, and I think that's the easiest one.
I think if anybody, I think it depends on who the Super Bowl MVP is. I'm going to just put it this way. Anybody that's not Jalen Ramsey, I'm locking in teammates. If it's Jalen Ramsey, give me God. If it's a Bengals player, if the Bengals win, I don't care who the thing is, give me City fans. They literally gave a game ball to their first playoff win to the city of Cincinnati. And like Zach Taylor went to like 5 bars and like gave balls to those bars for like the fans. So I'm like, if the Bengals win, I think they'll thank the fans. If the Rams win, it'll be teammates. Unless it's Jalen Ramsey, he'll thank God. Because he tweets like, praise God every day.
I think if it's Joe Burrow, it's teammates because he's always about his teammates. And if it's Matt Stafford, it's family. It's his wife first.
Yeah.
Dude, TC3 and I are on the same page today. If it's Stafford, I think it's family, followed by maybe the teammates. If it's Burrow, then I follow with the teammates. But I think one that's not put up there is Harambe.
Oh,
If
that
the
would be so
Bengals win,
funny.
if the
That would be
Bengals
so
win,
epic.
they're gonna motherfucking say Harambe was their inspiration.
It is so
That chick
funny.
died 4 years ago. I hope they don't bring it.
It's being researched again, Cam. If you looked
It's
on social
back.
media,
I know, because
It is
CJ
back.
Uzomah or whoever, or the defensive line guy, or whoever the fuck said it.
Yeah, I
Fuck
mean,
that gorilla.
obviously, so that's the clip was taken like out of context where they like said it as a joke, and he's like, "Oh yeah, 100%. That's our inspiration." But that's the funniest part is now I think it's become a life of its own. I could like that would be absolutely hilarious if Joe Burrow's like, I just like to thank Harambe for like I could 100% see him doing that just because he's a goon.
Harambe never
That'd be
dies.
awesome.
Fuck that gorilla.
Oh man, that's
Whoa,
got to be.
whoa, uncalled for. Uncalled
dude, can we
for.
get Pete on the line, please?
Can we get America on the line?
Jeez.
That joke was funny in 2016. I said 4 years ago. I think it was 6 years ago. I'm like,
2016
why is
would
this
be
joke?
6 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I said 4 years ago. I think it was even longer that joke was funny. Like that joke is dead.
Humor is in the eye of the beholder, Cam.
Player hater of the year, Cam Cosort. Fuck that gorilla.
Yikes. Tough
and-
look hating a dead gorilla.
I think I think we have one more prop bet that we didn't discuss, which I can't believe we didn't discuss. We kind of just did there. The last one is, who do you think is going to win MVP? I'm taking the Bengals and Joe Burrow winning MVP. I don't know what you guys got, and I think that's our last prop bet that we have for the day.
I do think Matthew Stafford thanking his family makes a lot of sense. I want to walk that back, but I think it's quarterback. I don't know. Bengals win, it's Burrow. Stafford win, or Rams win. I think it'll be Stafford, unless like Cooper Kupp has a Cooper Kupp signature game.
You got to make
Unless
your
Cooper
pick.
Kupp plays like he's been playing all season.
I say that out loud. I'm like, all right, well, I guess that's pretty possible too.
Unless the best wide receiver in the last 30 years, shows up.
I'm gonna be vanilla. Just give me the quarterbacks. Quarterback wins Super Bowl MVP.
Pick one. You got to pick one.
I guess I got to go Joe Burrow because I got the Bengals
go.
winning this thing.
Tyler, what you got?
I mean, I'd take Cam's kind of pick. If it's like the Bengals win, then Burrow. If the Rams win, then obviously I think it's either Stafford or Kupp. Unless if Kupp goes off, I have the Rams winning, so I'll take Stafford.
Okay.
I just feel like if the Rams win, like if Stafford has 280-3 and Kupp has 130-1, which is a signature Cooper Kupp game, I still feel like Stafford wins Super Bowl MVP. You know.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be tough for Cooper Kupp to win unless he has 2 touchdowns, 170 yards or something like that. He's gonna have to have a very, very, very good game to win.
Because Julian Edelman won that because Brady had I don't want to call it a bad game, but it was just such an non-impactful game where it was had to be Julian because he had 2 or 3 super clutch catches.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's not always just the stat line. Julian Edelman had those catches at the end that kind of sealed the deal.
100%.
I think that's all our prop bets that we have for the Super Bowl. We do have coaching news to get to, but do you guys have any other thoughts before we get to coaching news throughout the NFL?
If Stafford wins, does this nudge him into the Hall of Fame now?
Yeah, 100%.
No. Yes.
Yeah, if he wins, he's
I'm
100%
leaning
in the
towards
Hall
yes.
of Fame. Some people would argue that he's already in the Hall of Fame just by making a Super Bowl with his stats that he has, especially if he plays another 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, have I just been out on Stafford? I never even hated Stafford. I'm like, I didn't think he was Hall of Fame anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to end up
When's
top
the last
10.
time you actually watched a Detroit game? Let's be honest. No one really spent time watching Detroit games.
Wasn't he was also called Stat Padford for a reason? It was because I have 2 friends that are Lions fans, and they're like, yeah, I like Matthew Stafford, but they're it was annoying to just watch him do everything in garbage time in the fourth quarter. It was where was this the first 3? That's why I don't know.
He's gonna
to
end
your
up
point,
top
though,
10 in passing yards and probably passing touchdowns when it's all said and done.
And it's
so
tough.
he'll
You've
be
had a
close.
mostly garbage team your entire career.
Yeah. So if he wins a Super Bowl, I think it's gonna be really hard to keep him out because
he was responsible for 2 of the greatest wide receiver seasons. Not single-handedly.
Calvin Johnson and Cooper
I was
Kupp.
Calvin Johnson and Cooper Kupp, he was the quarterback for. So I'm like, I don't know. There could be some. If he's top 10 in stuff, then yeah, he is. I didn't realize he was on pace to be top 10 in yards.
It depends on how long it depends on how long he plays. The touchdowns one I don't know. For yards, for sure he will be. But yeah. All right. We can get really quick. I know we're going long today, but coaching news around the NFL today. Officially, all the head coaching vacancies have been filled. So the big ones today were Lovie Smith getting hired by the Texans, which seemingly came out of absolutely nowhere last night. But he took the Bears to the Super Bowl. They didn't win it obviously, but he took the Bears to the Super Bowl. I think he's been respected. He's a pretty good coach. So I think it's a good hire by the Texans actually. Better than Josh McCown for sure.
He's
he's already their associate head coach too, so it's some
Yeah.
rare stability for that organization.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just am kind of why. I mean, I Lovie Smith respect. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm just I feel like this hire just kind of screams I don't know, maybe we maybe shouldn't have gotten rid of Coley. clearly there was no plan after they got rid of him, and they're like, fuck. And I think there was like a lot of bad optics if Josh McCown got hired because, he's completely unqualified. He's never paid any dues, and he's just a little old Jacko Easterby.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I see what you're saying. I mean, I think David Culley shouldn't have been fired. I think we always joke David Culley coach of the year, but he did a great job with that roster. So it was kind of weird to see him gone. They didn't have a plan at all, or whatever plan they had backfired on them. I don't know who they were targeting, but they didn't.
I think it was McCown,
it
dude. I really do think it was McCown. I mean, I don't want to like get too involved in this. I really think because Jack Easterby wanted McCown last year, and he was pushing for it. And, like, it didn't happen, thankfully. And then all of a sudden, Josh McCown's, like, a finalist with Brian Flores. And I understand, like, with the lawsuit, it's kind of hard to, like, hire someone who's actively suing your employer. And I just feel like there's such bad looks if they go, like, shit, what if we hired Josh McCown now with all this shit going on? So I'm like, I think this was, like, I guarantee, I feel like Lovie Smith's going to get fired next year, and all of a sudden you're going to see Josh McCown back in the finalist again next year. Jack Easterby wants Josh McCown as the coach.
Potentially.
That's pretty well documented, and it's anyway.
Well, we'll see how Lovie Smith does with the team next year, I guess, and we'll see how that progresses. The other one, which I think was actually a really smart move, was the Saints promoting Dennis Allen to head coach today.
Makes sense.
That just happened a couple hours ago. I think he did a good job this year. He did a really good job with the way that team was playing. So
as he was, and when he was interim like too. That. Yeah, it makes sense.
I think he did a really good job. So
speaking of that. Are we gonna? I mean, I'm totally okay if we don't. But like, Kev, you definitely said we were gonna have to watch that movie and like come back with a review. Like,
oh yeah, well we got to wait till after the Super Bowl. We got to wait till after the Super Bowl. That's an off season thing when we got more time.
Gosh, all right.
100%.
Did you see that Kevin James video of him like?
Yeah,
with
it was
Sean Payton. I get it. You're fat. You fall down. Fucking hilarious.
It was pretty good. But yeah, that was the major ones. The didn't happen today. It happened yesterday. But Mike McDaniel going Niners OC going to the Dolphins is a really interesting hire. People are really hoping the Tua people are really hoping he's going to bring Tua back. People really speak highly of him. He's been with Shanahan since like 2013. And Shanahan speaks the world of him and was really bummed that they let him go. So that was supposed to be a really good hire for the Dolphins. And I don't know. I'm rooting for the guy.
Props to the Dolphins for 2 back-to-back minority hires, you know?
Yeah. 100%. He identifies as, according to Adam Schefter, the quote is he identifies as multiracial. I mean, maybe he just is instead of just having to throw the identifies out there, but you know.
Yeah, I was like, his dad is black, so.
Yeah, it was just a very weird comment. Adam Schefter is getting roasted the past couple of weeks with just copy and pasting what agents said to him instead of just taking 1 second to think about what he's saying. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. You guys got any closing thoughts before we head to the Super Bowl and into the off season?
Me and all my nerds love Mike McDaniel. He's one of us, man.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he shouldn't be on a football field in a lot of ways, but he's apparently brilliant and got a really good football mind, and people respect the hell out of him. And the players love him. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to being down in LA for the Super Bowl.
Are you going to the game?
No, I'm not going to the game. If the
I was just curious because I'm like, bro, if you're going to the game, like, why are you paying that? Because we've all seen the prices of that thing.
Like, I mean, if I would have sold my left testicle, maybe I would have.
Is it worth that much?
I mean, maybe my testicle. I mean, depends on who's asking. I'm sure I can find some buyers. I'm sure I can find a buyer or two.
Sure.
Yeah, no. If the Packers were in it, I would have paid that stupid amount of money and not put it towards my student loans. But you know, live and learn. Yeah, so LA should be fun.
They didn't make it, so you don't have to worry about that. Now you can pay your student loans off.
I still won't go to my student loans, but
it's going to all these prop bets.
No. I haven't been betting. I've been a good boy. I was asked not to, so I just recommend.
1-800 gambler.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to couch surfing with my buddies all week long. So that'd be a good time.
Dude, surfing in LA, nice.
Yeah, doing the wrong surfing. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in and sticking with us for that. Hope you guys enjoy those prop bets. And if you do gamble, gamble responsibly. And yeah, Tyler, thanks for coming on last few weeks and subbing in. We're glad to have Cam back, but it was good to have you in. And we're going to have a whole bunch of guests this offseason. I'm sure we'll have Tyler back a bunch. And we got a little bit of a lineup coming up here. So get excited, everybody, and hope you enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I've appreciated being on, boys. So it's been fun. Viewers, be ready for the best on paper podcast to start after this. So,
how long have you been sitting on that one? That was good.
That's my off season Woj bomb.
Nice.
No, it'll be good. It'll be a good game. A great ending to the season, the Super Bowl. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Enjoy the last week of football, man.
And if you're German, please reach out.
Yeah.
We've been waiting.
Did we listen last week?
Find out, right?
Peace.
Peace.
These nuts.